Hello there, and welcome to Dr. T. For today, August the 26th, we are going at Stage 1 with a vengeance. Alright, well, maybe not a vengeance, but we're going after it anyways. You know, like, it's something to do. I don't know. So, yes, there is a shock launcher on Stage 1. Yes, it is only level 1, but that still means 7,000 hit points on this bad boy. And yes, we absolutely have to go straight through it in order to actually get to the HQ and take it out, no matter what angle you come at the HQ from. So my suggestion is, come from the south, I guess east, sort of, but really the south corner, and throw some smokes down, cover your tanks up, get your tanks all into range of said shock launcher, let the smokes go away, burst, shoot that shock launcher, get all kinds of damage on it, and move on to Stage 2. Now, Stage 2, you can either land right-hand side and kill like 4 buildings, or, kind of like my tanks are doing right here, flare to where I flare basically to kind of guide them to the right places, or land them on the left-hand side where I'm tossing my critters and blow up all of the buildings. All of the non-defensive buildings, it's absolutely crazy on the left-hand side. You can build up a ridiculous amount of GBE and use that to do whatever you want, whatever defenses are actually left after you finally get to the HQ. Then move on to Stage 3. Good news, Stage 3 and Stage 2 equally as hard. Basically, with Stage 3, you can land, take out 2 defensive buildings, which you don't even really have to... I did that like just to show, like, hey, if you've got low GBE, you can do this. But you could really just land into the right corner where my tanks went there, and set up shop right here. Obviously, I took out some things so that I'd have the GBE to throw some critters down, so that I could take out this HQ a little quicker, but by no means is that mandatory, and we can move on to Stage 4. Stage 4, back to normal. Again, I'm going after a shock launcher. You do not have to go after the shock launcher. I'm taking out the shock launcher with critters just because I wanted to see if I could do it, if it was possible, just because of the way the defensive buildings there were kind of doing their thing. I just wanted to play with critters, get an idea of some stuff and whatnot, and mission accomplished. Now the good news is, if you've got a bunch of extra free GBE just sitting around with nothing to do with it, take out that shock launcher. It can only make your life that much easier. But again, it's not mandatory to take it out. It's just a nice thing to do. Because when you flare up into the top right-hand corner, and then your tanks come down and go after all the defenses, they just naturally take this path right along the very top. They hit sniper towers and everything, and it's absolutely beautiful. Now, if they start dipping to the south and going after the sniper tower made out of wood there, as my tank is obviously doing, or the machine gun south of it, just reflare up to the top, keep everybody on task, kind of a thing, and you should be able to blow through it. Now, once that mortar goes down, instead of letting your tanks roam, especially if that shock launcher is there, flare to where I just flared, and throw a smoke. As you can see, it will keep your tanks from being attacked, and then throw another smoke. It'll give you a nice little landing pad, and your tanks can group up in relative safety there. If you don't have the smokes, or you don't have the GBE, or you're unsure how smokes work, you don't have to really use them. It just prevents the cannon from getting a few free shots, and the flamethrower from lightly toasting all of your tank's marshmallows. Now, once the flamethrower and cannon are down, you're kind of in the clear. You're in a pretty safe spot. You could have the 2 sniper towers pecking away at you, but if you've got medics of any kind, hopefully they can balance that out, and you will get yourself a nice, easy win. Obviously, I blew up the sniper towers and then threw some critters, but that was just to speed things along. Anyways, if you can take out Stage 4, the good news is you can almost definitely take out Stage 5. Stage 5 isn't quite as beached as 3 was, but pretty freaking close. As you can see here, I dropped 2 boatloads of tanks. I only did that to speed things up. It's not like I needed to. I could 100% do this attack with just the 3 tanks, which doesn't happen very often. And as you can see, I didn't even land medics because I didn't need the medics. And I've got GBE left over where I could, you know, toss some things and do some things and win some things if I were so inclined, but I don't even see the point necessarily. So stage 5, bit of a gimme for anyone who is kind of hit and miss on stage 5. Definitely a good one for you. Which is nice, because then stage 6 shows up and kicks you right in the butt. Yeah. So here's the thing. You could land in the middle and go middle, but you're going to need a buttload of GBE. If you don't have a buttload of GBE built into your setup, you're going to want to land right-hand side, basically where I did, and let your tanks start doing their thing. While they're doing their thing, you're going to want to come up here and spend whatever GBE you can blowing up the shock launchers and their buddy boom cannon up there, all of which have a fairly decent amount of hit points. Now, what you didn't see possibly was down in the south, my tanks were playing with a shock launcher, so if you want to be really kind to them, you could throw a shock, hit the shock launcher, and a couple of the sniper towers, make things travel a little bit quicker through that south end, but I was really just focused purely on getting rid of those shock launchers and boom cannons so that I wouldn't run into an unhappy surprise. Now, from here on out, it's pretty smooth sailing. Basically, you're running through here, blowing up whatever you need to blow up just to get your tanks up into range of the HQ. And as you can see, I have GBE pouring in, and I'm not doing anything with it. I you know, could be throwing artillery and barrage to weaken up buildings for my tanks to crash into. I could be throwing shocks. I could be doing all these things. There's no need. I'm just kind of like, you know, saving up some GBE just for the fun of it, because that'll get me to the HQ, and then ultimately will get me some nice easy loot. Now, if you're slightly lower level, use all of that GBE. Do whatever you need to. Medkits, critters, something inappropriate that jumped to mind that I won't repeat. Buy pizza with them. I don't care. But you know, do whatever you need to, because you can't take it with you to the next level, which is kind of unfortunate, I'm not gonna lie to you, because if stage 6 was a kick in the butt, stage 7 is a kick on the other side, like right in the tallywhackers. I don't even know if that's really a thing. I think I heard it in a movie one time. Anyways, stage 7 is absolutely brutal. It's not necessarily that, like, the boom cannons and shock launchers are really high level, and it's not that there's just, like, so many of them. It's they're just the right level to basically sponge up as much of your GBE as possible. They have, like, the lower level boom cannons have 15,000 hit points, which when you do the reduction on Barrage with max Barrage, it's just a little bit more than a max Barrage can provide. If you throw 2 artillery, that's only like 13k, so it's just a smidge more than 2 max artillery can do. So they picked the levels really, really well to kind of soak up your GBE and slow you down, which pretty tricky. I like it. And as you can see, because I know I said, like, oh, it's not just there's so many of them. There are so freaking many of them. There are at least 5 boom cannons with 22,000 hit points on them each, and then 2 shock launchers as well, all of which need to be blown up. And really, this level does not give up any nice, cheap, easy GBE, which is why I ended up having to boost my GBE, because I just needed that extra little bit so that when I came in and went after the level, I would have enough of a punch to kind of get through the initial wall of boom cannons and shock launchers. As you could see, even doing that, I still basically face tanked one of the boom cannons because I knew it was lower level, it would do less damage, I could take a few shots, and with my tanks moving, hopefully not lose anything while I kind of crash through there. It worked out really nicely. Now, down here, as you can see, I'm, again, face-tanking this shock launcher because I don't want to waste the GBE to take it out because I need to use all that GBE on these two boom cannons so that I can take them out and continue kind of rolling through this area, building up my GBE base, because there's still another boom cannon after that one. Yeah. So, definitely a very intensive Stage 7. As you can see, I'm kind of rolling through here. Once you get down near the end, you can start throwing some of those shocks. Hopefully you've saved those up, and you can take out the boom cannon and all the defenses up here, and then curve around to the right-hand side. Now, this isn't my first attempt. The first attempt, I actually ran out of time. So also keep that in mind, because time is a factor on this one. You're racing the clock also, not just the defenses. Anyways, guys, hopefully this has been helpful. Hopefully this has been entertaining. And most importantly, hopefully you guys have a fantastic day.